As I came out of the airport, it was pouring rain, and I was sitting outside the waiting room waiting for someone. More than an hour had passed, and the person I was waiting for still hadn't arrived. I thought for a moment and opened WeChat Moments. My sister Amanda's post from an hour ago suddenly appeared. Even if the heavy rain turns the city upside down, the one who loves me will always be by my side. Strangely, there was not a ripple in my heart. Amanda's post also included a photo. I don't even need to guess. I know that the people holding candles next to Amanda's cake are Mom, Dad, my brother Jim, and Ethan. I used to really like Ethan's hands, with their distinct joints, a fair complexion, and a hint of pink at the knuckles. I have teased him more than once, saying that his hands could be used as hand models, guaranteed to charm a whole bunch of young girls. And now, they are all by Amanda's side. Clearly, 5 hours ago, they said they would wait for me in the airport lobby to take me home. Without thinking, I know that Amanda's excuse is that she is not feeling well, and it is only natural that they missed my pickup. For Amanda, they missed out on a lot of things about me. I missed my college entrance exam pickup, I missed my coming-of-age ceremony, I missed my university admission welcome banquet. Missed all my big and small anniversaries. The reasons for missing out are all the same: Amanda's heartache, stomach pain, and the pain from the incision after her kidney was removed. They missed it time and time again. I opened my phone's memo and added a character. The characters on the memo have already been written 100 times. They have missed me 100 times now. But my heart is at peace, having missed it 99 times already. Missing it once more won't change anything. Amanda is my sister, who was lost by my parents before I was born. The day she was brought back, I was celebrating my 12th birthday. She was thin and bony, her face pale, and a bad person had taken one of her kidneys. Mom and Dad were holding Amanda, crying bitterly, while I stood there wearing a birthday hat, staring blankly. From that day on, everyone's attitude towards me changed. My parents want me to take care of her, to protect her, because she has suffered too much. I nodded obediently, giving all my sincerity to Amanda. But how did she treat me? I still remember that, despite Amanda's beautiful face, she made such a fierce expression. "It's you. Ever since you were born, Mom and Dad have never looked for me. Why should that be? Everything you have now should belong to me. You shouldn't have been born." After that, my birthday every year became her birthday. Mom and Dad moved all the good things to her room, and my little brother no longer clings to me. Even Ethan began to frequently cast his gaze towards her, his eyes filled with affection and indulgence. But he is my boyfriend, isn't he? My parents and younger brother are also my family, aren't they? My grievances, however, were met with their impatience. "That is your sister. How could I have inappropriate thoughts about your sister? Can you stop making unreasonable fuss? Your sister has suffered so much, what's wrong with giving her more good things? You can buy these things again. Sister is so gentle, and her health isn't good. Can't you just stop making things difficult for her?" My parents have never been angry, and to avoid making them upset, I compromised time and again. Every storm that Amanda stirs up eventually calms down time and again, due to my compromise. This is the 100th time, but this time, all my past anger and resentment are gone. I just feel that it's unnecessary now. I have too many things to do, and there is still a lot of work that hasn't been resolved. I just want to take a nap and wake up to new things to do. Exhausted to the extreme, I booked a hotel room and fell into a deep sleep without even changing my clothes. Until a ringing sound woke me up, my mother's voice echoed in the room. "Christina, where are you at the airport? We will come to pick you up soon." "I'm sorry, Christina, for keeping you waiting so long, but you know your sister's health." If we don't take care of her, she would be so scared at home all alone. Oh, no need. I finally snapped out of my daze. I haven't been at the airport for a long time. If you are worried about my sister, then just stay with her, you don't need to worry about me. After all, I didn't expect you to really care about me. In fact, I used to carry hope, hoping that they still cared about me. I have also done that silly waiting at the airport. Without exception, they were all called away by Amanda. So Christina, where are you now? No need, I've already booked a room at the hotel. It's late, I'm going to sleep. I didn't wait for my mom to finish speaking and hung up the phone. It was rare to sleep until noon. After waking up and checking out, I had lunch at the hotel before slowly taking a taxi home. At home, everyone was sitting on the sofa. When they saw me come back, they all stood up and walked towards me, including Ethan. Christina, which hotel were you at last night? Why didn't you let us come pick you up? Mom said. The hotel rooms are never as good as home, and you can rest a bit better, can't you? Come on, your sister has made something delicious. Oh, no need, I've already eaten. I glanced at the dishes on the dining table. Actually, in the past, I was the one who cooked the meals at home, in order to gain their approval. As long as Amanda shows a hint of reluctance to eat, I will be blamed, and this time is no different. Amanda gently furrowed her brows and said softly, Christina, do you not like the dish I made? I can make it again. Amanda's words added more blame in her parents' and Ethan's eyes. Christina, your sister has been busy all day preparing this table full of dishes, you should at least eat a little. Second sister, did you deliberately eat your fill outside to make eldest sister feel this way? The younger brother's eyes were filled with disdain. Christina, my sister is not well. How many times did you inhale smoke in the kitchen for you, and you even cut your hand with a knife? Can't you give your sister a little respect? Look, I just said one sentence, but blame will never be late. I sighed, I'm allergic to shrimp and cilantro, didn't my parents forget? Once, I was hospitalized for a whole month, because I mistakenly ate shrimp and cilantro, and my parents were very concerned about this. Specifically made a list of food. But Amanda knows about my allergies, because she has seen me not eat these two things with her own eyes. Her show of strength was so clumsy that for the first time, I found it amusing. At this moment, Mom and Dad finally realized, and the atmosphere became very awkward. By the way, I spoke up, breaking the silence of the moment. I rented a place outside, so I won't be coming back. This time I'm just here to move my things. When I was at home before, I always thought that if I did a little better, my parents and younger brother would pay more attention to me. As long as I cater to Amanda a little more, they will think I am sensible and can treat me like before. I kept in mind the preferences of all of them, especially because Amanda had complied many times. Today I suddenly understood. Actually, Amanda just wanted to drive me away, so I did as she wished. I really don't want to argue with Amanda anymore, it's quite pointless. In the end, the one who got hurt from beginning to end was just me. What was unexpected was that my parents did not agree, instead, they frowned and held my hand tightly. Christina, is it because we were taking care of your sister last night that we didn't pay attention to you, and you're upset? No, sister is not well. I understand that you are taking care of her, so I have decided to move out to make it easier for you to take care of her. Dad wanted to say something more, but I interrupted him. I've taken my things, so I'm leaving first. The quarter when I was as busy as a spinning top has finally passed, and the company specially bought plane tickets for us employees to go to the seaside for team building. In the past, to please Ethan and my family, I would rather convert the team building activities into cash and buy them many things. But even so, it could not earn them a shred of recognition. Their gaze remained fixed on Amanda. I later realized that I had seemingly lived the first half of my life for their approval. This is not a good sign. This time, everyone was very surprised by my participation in the team-building event. "So, this year you won't be with your boyfriend and family?" I smiled and thought I would consider myself for once. Not just this time, but every time in the future, I must consider myself. It's quite strange, ever since I moved out, my parents' calls have become more frequent. Even my brother Jim, whom I hadn't heard from in a long time, started messaging me. Even Ethan, who used to reply to my 10 messages with just half a sentence, has started sending me videos. "Christina, shall we have a meal together tomorrow? We can also discuss your situation with Ethan." Second sister, your birthday is coming up soon, what do you want? I'll buy it for you. Christina, didn't you say that you wanted to have some green plants at home? I still remember you like succulents. Can I buy them all together? I frowned, looking at a suddenly added family group in WeChat, where all the messages were tagging me. I had seen this family group on my mom's phone before. Inside are Amanda, my younger brother, and my parents, but I'm not there. And now, I actually don't know when I was pulled into the group by my dad. The sudden concern made me feel very uncomfortable. I just replied that I was at a team-building event and wouldn't be going home, then put down my phone. I had no response to Ethan's message. I haven't figured out how to respond, and I also haven't figured out how to handle my relationship with him. The atmosphere of the team-building event made me feel an unprecedented sense of relaxation and joy. Colleagues who used to just greet each other became increasingly excited as a topic sparked their interest, and by the end, the conversation was more lively than ever. We took a group photo, and for the first time, I posted the pictures from the gathering on my moments. "Wow, Christina, you look so beautiful when you smile," a colleague exclaimed dramatically while flipping through the photos. "You used to have such a long face that we all thought you were hard to deal with, but I didn't expect you to be so talkative." I laughed happily, feeling an unprecedented sense of ease for the first time. Naturally, she didn't pay attention to Ethan's call on the other end of the phone, the messages from her parents, the voice message from her brother Jim, or Amanda's call. On the day the team-building event ended, I said goodbye to my colleagues one by one at the airport and prepared to go home to rest. As soon as I exited the airport, I found that my parents, Amanda, Jim, and Ethan were all waiting for me. After seeing me, their eyes brightened for a moment. Second sister. Jim wanted to come over and take my bag, but I switched sides, and his hand fell empty. "What are you here for?" My detached tone left them momentarily stunned, but my mother was the first to react. "Christina, your sister misses you a lot and wants you to come back to live here. Why don't you just move back?" "Yeah, big sister has really missed you lately, saying she has been calling your name in her dreams." "When did you two become so close?" I looked at Amanda with a smile that was not quite a smile, and she looked at me timidly, but I did not overlook the malice in her eyes. "Are you missing me, or do you want me to continue being blamed by mom and dad, so that you can continue to be favored by them and your brother?" Amanda's expression paused, then she made a look of grievance. "Christina, I know you've always hated me, but I really want to mend our relationship. Christina, the living conditions outside are not good. Will you come back with me? You are my sister, and I am the eldest sister, I should take care of you. Move back? My room has been yours since the day you returned. After I started working, I've been spending the night in the dorm anyway, so why move back?" My words left everyone present in shock, as if my parents had just remembered, their faces turning pale. They seemed to have finally remembered that ever since Amanda came back, Dad has been saying that there aren't enough rooms in the house. But my room is spacious and bright, and my sister, citing her poor health and the need for more sunlight, took it upon herself to arrange for me to live on campus. For so many years, I thought I had long gotten used to my parents' indifference. Even until today, their words still make my heart ache gently for a moment. I couldn't be bothered with their emotions and expressions anymore, so I dragged my suitcase and left the airport. I originally thought that after the airport incident, Amanda would calm down for a while. After all, I had already stopped arguing with her, but I still didn't expect her to continue to be disgusting towards me. I was in the office, overwhelmed and staring at the work content. I was recently promoted, and along with the promotion and raise came a heavier workload. I didn't have the patience to listen to the news from my parents and younger brother, or Ethan's call for even a minute. Unknowingly, the distance between them and me has grown further, no matter what Amanda posts in her social circle. I treat it as if I didn't see it at all. Even when Amanda sends messages to provoke me, I never respond. One's own matters are the most important, and one's own feelings are the most important. For so many years, everything I did was wrong in their eyes. Now, as long as I am satisfied with what I do, that's enough. It seems Amanda didn't want to make things easy for me. Jim's call came in just when I was feeling irritated. Second sister, Jim's voice revealed a hint of hesitation. Can you come home for a while? There are very important things to discuss with you. I frowned. In the past, no matter how important the matter was, my parents would never think of me, only Amanda would come to their minds first. What is it this time? Although Jim said it was urgent, I still prioritized finishing my own work before leisurely taking a taxi back to my original home. After arriving home, the whole family was waiting for me, including Ethan. It's just that when Ethan looked at me, there was something in his expression that I couldn't understand. It feels like guilt, yet also like reluctance. What is it? I didn't have time to reminisce with them, so I got straight to the point. Christina, that, Dad began with some difficulty. Let me say it. Amanda's gentle voice echoed in the living room, and then her eyes seemed to turn red as if by magic. Christina, I know you will be very angry about what I'm going to say next, but I don't want to either, but I can't help it. Tears streamed down Amanda's face as she looked at Ethan and held his hand. Christina, I really like Ethan. Every time I feel unwell, Ethan is by my side. His thoughtfulness makes me feel warm, and I can't give up this feeling. So Christina, can you let Ethan be with me? I really like him. Please. Christina, I can return everything to you, including your room. Just give him to me. I looked at Amanda with a blank expression. She was crying hard, gasping for breath. The pain on her mother's face could no longer be controlled. She rushed over and hugged Amanda. Christina, your sister is missing a kidney, and her health has never been good. Thanks to Ethan's care, she has been able to hold on. Christina, you are the younger sister, and so outstanding, just. I looked at everyone in the Gu family when I saw Amanda crying so painfully. Whether it was Mom and Dad, Jim, or Ethan, they all looked at the crying Amanda at the same time. This is the first time I've seen a child who cries and gets candy. What a truly real and shocking scene it is. I replied calmly, okay. What did you say? I heard my own voice, and I also heard Ethan's incredulous voice. I saw the astonished faces of my parents and Jim. I promise you, Amanda, I don't want Ethan anymore. I give him to you. I smiled and repeated it again. Amanda stood frozen in place, a hint of surprise in her eyes, perhaps because she had never thought I would agree so readily. Christina, what do you mean? Ethan couldn't hold back any longer. He suppressed his anger and pulled me along, asking me. I looked at him with a puzzled expression. since my sister likes you, shouldn't I step aside? After you are with Amanda, you can take care of her at all times without having to get my approval for everything. Isn't that great? What good? Ethan raised his voice, causing his parents and Amanda to flinch. Christina, I know you're angry with me for taking care of your sister, but she's your family. What's wrong with me taking care of your family because of you? I am even more confused. But you haven't made me feel like you are my boyfriend. I can't feel the presence of a boyfriend. So what's wrong with me giving you to Amanda? Ethan was stunned. Perhaps in that moment, he thought of something? When I needed to pay for hospitalization due to acute gastroenteritis, I called him, but he turned off his phone because of my sister's slight cold. When he and I had agreed to go play in the mountains, he left me alone in the mountains, because my sister couldn't find her medicine there. When I asked him to help me deliver an urgent document, he drove 2 hours to buy a custom cake for my sister's party. I lost a big order because I didn't submit the documents to my boss on time, and I was docked half a year's bonus. All things, one by one, have long made me lose any expectations of him. When I expressed my grievances to my parents, they always stood by my sister's side. What can I possibly expect? I glanced past Ethan at my parents and Amanda. I have given up everything Amanda wanted. If she still wants something, then it must be my kidney, right? It's okay, I can give her my kidney too, as long as she wants it. Mom finally got anxious. You silly child, what are you saying? That's a kidney. Do you think you can just give it away? What will you do after giving it? A glint of malice flashed in Amanda's eyes as she bit her lip and looked at me, her eyes filled with tears. Christina, how can you think of me like this? I smiled and turned to leave. Leaving home and cutting off contact with my parents, I rarely felt an unprecedented sense of freedom. In the past, no matter what I wanted to do, my parents always felt that I was lacking in talent and excellence. None of them compared to Sister Amanda, but once you leave this layer of unrecognized filters, my colleagues and friends all say I've become like a different person, and only now do I realize it. It turns out that I have been living for a long time under the pressure imposed by Amanda and the control of my parents. Even my boyfriend is not on my side. I slowly became the person I wanted to be, and gradually, people began to notice me. The boss of Party A's company, Jack, is a gentleman, as I encountered a heavy rain while delivering documents. He took me into the car, chatting and laughing all the way, and it was only when we arrived at the doorstep that I realized. Ethan didn't know how long he had been standing at the door. His eyes were red, watching me get out of the car. Christina, what is your relationship with that man? He asked me with a cold smile. You didn't agree to break up, so you put a green hat on me? Jack curiously rolled down the car window to check the situation, and I felt deeply ashamed as I pulled Ethan aside. What are you going crazy about? Didn't I make myself clear that day? Amanda likes you so much. I gave her a chance. Didn't I make myself clear? I didn't agree. Ethan shouted angrily. Christina, do you really have to be so heartless? I've explained to you many times that my relationship with your sister is not what you think it is. Listening to Ethan's explanation, I could only feel waves of impatience rising in my heart. Ethan, you said you and my sister are not that kind of relationship, so why didn't you refuse when Amanda said she liked you? Ethan's expression froze, standing there in a daze. From the moment Amanda appeared between the two of us, you tilted the scales in her favor just like my parents did. I asked you to deliver the documents, but you were with Amanda. I was sick, and you were with Amanda. You promised me we would go out, but in the end, you were still with Amanda. So Ethan, can you tell me what your relationship with Amanda is like? Ethan's face was pale, He wanted to explain, but I pushed him away. Let's stop here, Ethan. It's not just you, but also my parents, Jim and Amanda. Everything you all have done is pushing me away. Now that I have successfully been driven away by Amanda, you should be happy too, shouldn't you? Since then, Ethan seemed to have disappeared, and I was busy dealing with my own work. Forget him and the people at home completely, because several major clients continued to cooperate, and the boss was very happy. I was promoted twice in a row, and I now have my own office, no longer busy running around every day. But rather, there is more time to enrich oneself. By the time Jim came to me, a whole year had already passed. Sister, we are your family after all. You used to come back for the holidays in the past, so why aren't you coming back this year? Jim was venting his frustrations in my office. Mom and Dad haven't laughed in a long time. Your room has been tidied up, but every time Mom goes to your room, she can't help but cry. I glanced at Jim lightly, without stopping my work. And then there's Dad. A while ago, Dad got sick and was hospitalized, and in his dreams, he was still calling your name. Sister, I know you are angry with us, but we will always be your family, a bond of kinship that you cannot sever, right? And there's the eldest sister, she has already returned everything she borrowed from you. When will you come back? I remained silent and continued working. Jim finally couldn't hold back any longer and looked at me with red eyes. Second sister, can you say something? I finally raised my head to look at this younger brother who has already made a name for himself. In the past, he was just a small bundle. When I was bullied, even though I was beaten and covered in wounds, I would never cry out for help beside me. But I don't know when it started that the person he was protecting changed from me to Amanda. I am not as good as Amanda, I am not worthy of being his sister. I withdrew my gaze from him and said, you should go back and tell Mom and Dad that I will fulfill my duty of support, but as for emotional value, I'm sorry, I can't do that. If you need emotional value, please go to Amanda, she can give much more than I can. I had the staff outside invite Jim out, and during this time I felt not a single ripple of emotion in my heart. The past sorrows and despair have become a thing of the past. I no longer want to be the person who puts everyone else's feelings first while forgetting my own. 2 years later, I got married, and the person I married was Jack. To put it in his words, he has been coveting me for a long time. At first, I was impressed by my serious work ability, and after a long period of understanding, I just realized that I have a completely dysfunctional family. Jack's family is very harmonious. When I first met my mother-in-law, her optimistic and positive attitude towards life infected me. She didn't try to control me like my mom did, but instead went with me to do fun things. Even my father-in-law would bring delicious food back for me and my mother-in-law every day after coming home. And Jack's sister, who would pester me every day to eat delicious food, would also drag me to various family gatherings. Always keep me by your side. This is a healthy family. When I got married, I didn't inform my parents, but I don't know where Amanda found out. He appeared at my wedding, loudly accusing me of being unfilial, claiming that I dared to marry without my parents' consent when they were clearly still alive. But I was invited out by my mother-in-law and father-in-law. It was also Jack who held my hand, saying that he would stand by my side no matter when. Since then, I have not seen Amanda again. When I heard from Amanda again, I had already given birth to a lovely daughter. All day long, she either clings to me, calling out Mama in a babyish voice, or she wraps around Dad, asking him to tell her little science stories. While Jack was skillfully feeding his daughter, a strange message appeared on his phone. I opened it and saw that the person who sent the message was none other than Amanda. Jack, can you lend me some money? I can be considered your wife's sister, we're all family, can you help me with this favor? I really have no other way. I watched with great interest as Amanda sent her message. Scrolling back through the messages, she was still the same as before, starting by talking about her own difficulties. It implied that I had taken everything that belonged to her. No matter how Amanda sent messages, Jack did not respond with a single word. Why didn't you reply to her? I asked curiously, holding my phone up in front of him. Jack had become a complete daughter slave, glancing at his phone as if it were a charity, before turning his head away to look at his daughter. What should I reply to her? Give her another chance to hurt you? The reason for keeping her is that if she ever thinks of harming you in the future, I can have some evidence. A warmth flickered in my heart. Someone who truly loves you will always keep you in their heart, rather than being kind to someone else under the guise of wanting the best for you. Unfortunately, my parents never saw through this, but I no longer care. A year passed again, and my daughter Yang started kindergarten. It was time to pick her up from school. I saw Mom and Dad, they were walking down the street with Amanda, and when they saw me, a hint of joy appeared in their eyes. Dad, Mom, I nodded as a greeting. Mom's face wore a smile, but her eyes were filled with deep loneliness. You got married without inviting us, and now you have a child, and we didn't come to help either, and you didn't say a word. I smiled faintly, and spoke softly. Compared to me and the child, I think Amanda should be taken care of more, right Mom and Dad? Dad opened his mouth, watching me turn around and slowly leave. The setting sun was just right, and my daughter's shadow was cast beside me, adorned by the ginkgo leaves. Like a beautiful painting, my daughter's life has not yet begun. But my life has just begun.